this is going to be an interesting 5-second video. It's to direct you basically to some other videos and to introduce some information which is something I've proposed or presented before, starting with the first releases. It's what it's all about. It's what people have theorized for years. It's what the ancient discoveries and knowledge is about. And if you look deep enough into the function of reality and consciousness, and basically that we have to be within a projection, our consciousness has to be within a projection, kind of like a magnifying glass on a focal point of light, where there has to be something beyond the focal point in order to create what's happening here intellectually or consciously as an experience, which is our experience is just a part of something larger, a slice of the spectrum of just like a ray of from a beam. It has to be, otherwise it's just one thing and then there's nothing. That doesn't make sense. You can't find that in existence in anywhere. But then what that means is that you can go, there's layers, and if there's layers, it means you can go from one level to the next, and eventually you'll get to such a point that this layer seems like a dream, and there's so much more information or detail on the higher layer that this layer is literally like basically a child's interpretation of what we have as a developed society here to a larger, some type of over society, like a unified society of some sort, some type of extra dimensional society, which eventually means that everything that we have here that's a difficulty or problem or something we don't know is all figured out on some or like at some point along the line. Anything that we don't know is figured out at one of these higher levels, and that we're also present in those higher levels. But it also, basically, like what I'm hinting at is that to some degree it means this is a type of dream-like environment or simulation. So that was what I was shown, informed of, and then shown. And we worked with aspects of this throughout all of the operations, meaning consciousness can be replicated, and as a basis, what seems to be taking place in society is largely advanced simulations, whether it's the physical reality, like trees and all that exists and it has mass, whatever that actually is. The neurological processes seem to be guided by some form of consciousness simulation. The idea is that with the technology that exists and would possibly have to exist in order for us to get here, meaning we're kind of like backwards in time, you can take a neurological imprint and literally recreate it and replicate it and plug it into a brain or plug a brain into it, and the untrained mind can't tell the difference. So it's like our soul is in one of those right now, but just a larger version that maybe we didn't create, or maybe we did. I just want to direct to some of these videos here, which I was told would begin to happen, would start to happen. One point, I don't know, I can't remember the exact video. It was one of the earlier radio shows I did, or I talked about. It might have been with Wolf Radio, Wolf Spirit Radio. Them, or possibly one of the ones with Yvonne Palermo, who was doing some shows earlier on, and basically they unveiled technology that they use to kill stars. And the idea is there's a project that is, I don't think it's an operation, I think it's a project, and that's to basically create a new star. It's not because they just want to get to own a star, it's because ours was shutting off. And they shot the beam into the sun to begin a type of elemental decay, a radioactive decay process, which eats up the neutrons or something like that. And they simultaneously launched their artificial sun. And since then, years ago, there has been anomalies. The tribes have seen them. That the moon seems to flip-flop at certain times. The sun rises and sets, and it seems like it's off track. If you watch, and every so many years the sun rises in a certain spot, well, guess what? It's off a few degrees, if not sometimes a lot. And as well, the timing. The sun is not supposed to be up here at like 9 o'clock or something. Okay, the timing has been off. If you've paid attention, there are days where it's glitched. It's completely glitched. It's like it's fabricated. Like we're in a transitory dimension that was fabricated just to house us as we pass through what is some type of resurrection process. So I just want you all to check out these videos in the description. And so we were shown advanced technology that can basically replicate the sun, and they showed me how they're scientists and scientists on the surface that they have to go to and knock on their door and be like, yo, the stuff you're putting out, it's like, what are these anomalies? Okay, you can't do that anymore because you're going to cause crazy stuff, because the truth is this. And the guy's just like, ah, and his head explodes because they'll show them pictures of the inside of the sun that they found. And it looks like there are big devices and contraptions and mechanical pieces to it. That's what they showed me. And ultimately, it's as if the entire realm is some form of advanced technology or portions of it. But if there are portions, then it's like, well, what would stop the whole thing from being that? It seems like the people, the true observers here, noticing this are the only thing that's real here. And so, but they said basically the nature of the realm was going to begin to reveal itself, and as well, you could say that's meaning it's deteriorating, which is we need to have an exit plan. And so, the sun was replaced in an effort to ensure the continuity of the civilization. Everything we think is like out to get people. There's always more than one aspect of the story. The sun itself was a contraption, a device designed for another purpose, then is presented, or that is mispresented by the assumption of public consensus. Check out these videos. What if the fake sun fails for a moment? Question mark. Earth evacuation? Question mark. That's weird. Sun simulator glitch. And then one that really covers some stuff. Some sun simulator exposed by Boeing on YouTube. I'm not getting the names. I'd have to like open them all up. I don't want to name one or two of them. Or maybe I will. The new ones are Worldwide Matrix Breakdown coming as Sun Simulator continues to fail. 5/15/17. That's by Jeff P. And those begin to show exactly what they showed us. They're big devices in the sky, set up with electrogravitic, what people call anti-gravity. It's electrogravitic levitation, and they look like suns. You can't tell unless you have some other spectrum of light. NGO News: the sky is an LCD screen / hologram to John Kosalis. I haven't heard him say his name, so I don't know how his name is said. And the one sun simulator exposed is Richie from Boston. Sun simulator glitch is Elephant in the Room. That guy's got some good stuff. It's all about having a clear mind and just looking around and seeing, that doesn't add up. That is impossible is the author of What If the Fake Sun Fails for a Moment? Earth Evacuation, question mark. And that's his account. That is impossible. Basically everything here that's happening is impossible. If you pay attention, it's all not happening or couldn't happen. Check out the videos. Basically, the artificial realm is being exposed. Everyone who's part of this is part of it. Everyone's a part of it. That's all I can say. It's like a big show. It's Truman Show. This reality, or maybe the old reality, the old world is Truman Show. We're the Truman. But it's all being exposed. Don't let it pass you up. If it's being exposed, It's happening for a reason. So you can see the truth. If something is exposed, it's not a bad thing. It means now you know the truth. You don't want everything that could be exposed not exposed, so you're just walking around talking to a bunch of puppets. But if you have emotion invested in that belief system, then that's gonna hurt. I'm pulling off a band-aid. Last thing is Dr. Cosmos, Revolution in Physics, a reference for physicists, presented by Aquarius Navi Institute. Navi.ac/ANI. www before that. I guess instead of .com, it's .ac. What country is that? Do you believe, this is the description, do you believe that you have so many illusions, I clicked out of it of course, that you have so many illusions in your brain and you are pondering through those illusions, excuse me. Do you believe that you have so many illusions in your brain and you are pondering through those illusions? What if you took those illusions away from your brain? This theory is a treasure box of hints, a plethora of new discoveries for scientists. I don't know why I can't read all of them. It's also, sure, it's an advanced couple sentences here. You will realize the fractal structure of space-time. The fractal concept is the key to solve the mystery of gravity, dimensions. It's all inverse, what we think. And so I'm going to leave that as a link. And you will probably, I actually haven't looked through all of it, so I might withdraw it and be like, only a couple of slides of these are, in my opinion, relevant. But these will touch on the reality of the situation. If you can't trust one thing, you can't trust other things that are dependent on that thing. You can't trust the relevance, the things that are relevant to that. If the primary aspects of what this realm is based upon can't be trusted, the sun, everything relies on that, and you can't trust that, well, guess what? So something's happening here. I'm not doing it. Somebody is, though, and we might as well make use of it. But I am offering my contribution of what I've experienced, and that should do something. All right, check them out. Thank you.